While we were discussing one concept of parameters of supply, we discussed that GST is on supply of goods and services. So in short, if there is a supply of goods and services, there is GST. But government can list and say that there might be certain transactions which, though there is goods, though there is services, it will be kept outside the definition of supply. Though there is goods, though there is services, it will be kept outside the definition of supply. This list is popularly called as negative list. This list is popularly called as negative list. This negative list is written in Schedule 3. So Schedule 3 talks about negative list. Fine. Schedule 3 talks about negative list. In this, there are 6 items. 6 items which should not be treated as supply. 6 items which should not be treated as supply of goods or supply of services. In examination, there will be definitely one question. There will be one question asking whether this supply is taxable or not. At that time, you should be able to answer whether this is supply or not. So we will learn these 6 items one by one in a most simple way. Let us begin with the first item. Let us take the first item. First item talks about any service provided by employee to employer in the course of employment is a negative list item. So what is it telling? Any service provided by employee to employer in the course of employment is not subject to GST because it is not considered as supply. Let us take a simple example to understand what that entire sentence means. Say I am a college professor. and I teach college students. So any service in relation to this teaching and I am getting salary for that, on this salary there is no GST because this service I am providing as an employee to the employer. Say after the college hours, principal asked me to teach his son. Asked me to teach his son. Now at the end of the month, I get salary 30,000 rupees to teach in the college and 5,000 rupees for teaching principal's son. So I am getting what? 30,000 for teaching in college and 5,000 for teaching principal's son. Now this 30,000 is in the course of my employment. No GST on that. But this 5,000, the 5,000 for teaching principal's son is not in the course of employment. My employment is not to teach principal's son. So on this 5,000 rupees, there is GST. I hope it is clear. So if an employee is providing service to the employer in the course of employment, no GST. Why no GST? Because it is not treated as supply at all. But anything other than in the course of employment, it will attract GST. So this is the first item under negative list, that is Schedule 3. Now let us talk about the second item in the negative list. Second item is comparatively easier. It says services provided by court or tribunal. Service provided by court or tribunal is negative list item. So if court is providing any service or tribunal is providing any service, there is no GST on that. Why? Because it is kept outside from the definition of supply under Schedule 3. Now let us talk about the third item in the negative list. The third item of the negative list talks about 3 different types of persons. It talks about 3 different types of persons whose service will not be treated as supply. The first category is any service or any functions performed by the elected representatives, that is MPs, that is Member of Parliament, MLAs, MP, MLA, Member of Gram Panchayat or local authority members. So if these different persons are rendering any services or performing any functions, there is no GST on that. So if MP is getting a salary, or any other allowance, there is no GST on that because it is not treated as supply of service or supply of goods. I hope the first person is clear to you. Let us look into the second type of person. The second category of person are those who are appointed by the constitutional authority of India. They are appointed by the constitutional authority of India, that is presidents and governors. So if president and governors are performing their duty and in return they are getting some pay, president and governors are performing any duty and in return they are getting any pay, this performance of duty will not be considered as supply of service, hence there is no GST on that. So first we learned that functions performed by MP MLAs is not treated as supply. Then we are seeing that any functions or any duties performed by president or governors, president and governors are appointed under constitutional authority, even they are kept outside the purview of GST. Now let us see the third category of persons who are kept outside the purview of GST. The third category talks about member or chairman of a body established by government. What do you mean by a body established by government? Say there is RBI or SEBI. There is RBI or SEBI. These are the body which is established by Parliament. Now there is an RBI governor. There is RBI governor. Is he an employee? He is not an employee, but he is the governor of RBI, or there is a chairman of SEBI. These two persons are not treated as employees. Fine. Now if this governor, chairman or any member of SEBI or RBI or any other similar body which is established by government and they are getting paid. So RBI governor is getting paid, or SEBI chairman is getting paid, or any other member of the body which is established by the government are getting paid. It won't be treated as service and it will be kept outside the definition of supply. So it will not be treated as supply of service. So here we are totally discussing three category of person. The first one is MP MLAs, second one is the president and governor, third one is chairman or members of the body which is established by the government. So this category of persons, if they are performing any services, it will not be treated as supply, hence there will not be GST on that. I hope the third item is clear to you. The fourth item in the negative list is an interesting item. It says any services with relation to a deceased person is kept outside the purview of supply. So any services with relation to a deceased person. Say a person is dead and he is taken to Satya Harishchandra Ghat and there is a burial service. So after there is a burial, say the person burying him charges a bill of 10,000 rupees. It will be an awkward situation if he is also collecting GST along with this 10,000 for burial. That is why government said on any services with relation to deceased person, it may be burial, it may be funeral, it may be mortuary, it may be crematorium, it may be any other services with relation to deceased person will be kept outside the purview of supply. Now let us talk about the fifth item in the negative list. Fifth item talks about two transactions. Fifth item talks about two transactions which will not be treated as supply, hence there is no GST on that. Which are these two items? The item number one is sale of land. Item number one is sale of land. Say I have 10 acres of land and I am selling it. I am having 10 acres of land and I am selling it. It will not be treated as supply, hence there is no GST on that. So if there is a sale of land, there is no GST on that. Now let us see the second item which is discussed in item number 5. So what is the second one? It gives reference to para 5b of schedule 2. It gives reference to para 5b of schedule 2. What was para 5b of schedule 2 was talking? It said if a building is sold after completion, or after occupancy, there is no GST on that. So if a building is sold and consideration is received after completion or after occupancy, there is no GST on that. So item number 5 is talking about two transactions. Transaction number 1 is sale of land, no GST because it is not treated as supply. The second one is sale of building after completion or after occupancy and consideration is received after completion or after occupancy, there is no GST on that. So I hope the fifth item is clear. The sixth item of negative list talks about actionable claims. It says all actionable claims except betting, lottery and gambling. Except betting, lottery and gambling are kept outside the definition of supply. What does it say? It says only betting, gambling and lottery are taxed. Only betting, gambling, lottery are taxed. And if there is any other actionable claim, say bills of exchange. So bills of exchange is also an actionable claim. But on bills of exchange, there is no GST because it is item number 6. On all actionable claim, there is no GST. Only on 3 items there is GST. Which are those 3 items? Lottery, betting and gambling. So on these 3 items which are actionable claims, there is GST. If there is any other actionable claim, there is no GST. So let us summarize entire 6 items. The first item spoke about service by employee to employer in the course of employment. Second item spoke about services by court or tribunal. The third one actually spoke about 3 different categories, that is MP and MLAs, the president and governors. Then it told about RBI governor and SEBI governor, the SEBI chairman. So we discussed that also in detail. The fourth item, which was interesting, it spoke about any services with relation to a deceased person. The fifth item spoke about sale of land and one more thing, which was that sale of building as specified in schedule 2 para 5b. Okay. The sixth item spoke about any actionable claim except 3 items, which are those lottery, betting and gambling will not be treated as supply. So these 6 items you need to remember it, because from an examination point it is very important and there will be questions asked from this.